we kindle this symbol of our community of faith for the light of truth, the warmth of love, and the fire of commitment.
Good morning. We begin our service today with the hymn, Here Together for Gathering. This was written by UU composer David Glasgow, and in just a moment, you'll see the words right up on the screen. Please join together in singing. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Greater Lansing. I'm LB, your Director of Music and Worship Arts. I use the pronouns he, him, and his, and this is the first Sunday of our senior minister's sabbatical. Reverend Neil will be on sabbatical for the next 6 months, so during that time you'll see me, the worship associates, and guest speakers taking on parts of the service that we don't normally do, but since Reverend Neil's not here, somebody's got to do them. We recognize that we exist on the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe peoples. We know that Black Lives Matter, and we invite you to bring your full selves to every worship service, because we know we are infinitely more fabulous when we do. If you would like to follow along the hymns and read the music, there are hymnal carts at the back of the sanctuary, inside on this side, and just outside the doors over there. If you'd like hearing assistance, you can either tune your hearing aids to the T-coil to pick it up. We have some headsets back there, also on the hymnal cart, that can help people who don't have hearing aids that are tunable to our system. We also have an order of service that we print up once a month, so it's just the general information. But if you'd like to follow along and know what's coming next, those are available on the usher stand just outside of this door. We print them up and have them for you all month long. They'll change. It also has some announcements in it that will be happening during the course of the month. So you might want to pick that up just to see those announcements, to have something in writing. A few other announcements. Today, our Congregational Administrator, Catherine Patton, will be in her office for an hour after the service. It's down this hallway and just past the doors to the exit on the right-hand side. If you want to talk to her about your pledge or your membership or becoming a member, or just want to say hi so she can start putting a few more faces to names, you are welcome to do so. Also after church today, the Pretty Good Book Group will be meeting at noon in the Chapin Room. That's all the way down this hallway to your left, and then a very quick right. And next Sunday, there is a congregational information session after worship here. Today at 11:45, we'll have the worship associates meeting in this space for about an hour or so as we iron out a few more details about the sabbatical. If you want more information on any of this, it's in your weekly newsletter that you get by email. If you want to sign up for that, you can talk to Catherine directly after worship, or talk to somebody on the hospitality and membership team. Or go to our website, which is at uulansing.org. Now, we know that not everybody is able to make it every single Sunday, so we provide access for those people to watch it at home, either on live stream or during the course of the week. So before we greet each other here in the sanctuary, let's greet them at home. They're watching on cameras. And we can say hi to the tech volunteers too, because they're doing a great job. Thank you. And now let's take a couple of minutes. Oh, I forgot to tell you about coffee hour. Stay for coffee and conversation unless you have another meeting to go to. That'll be in the social hall in the atrium. Now, get up and talk to each other for a little bit. Good morning. Welcome. Hey, Barb, how you doing? Good to see you. I'll send you an email or we'll find it.
How's everyone doing? I'll be up here quite a few times, so I'll just pretend to disappear and then just come right back up here. I'm Kelsea Hector. I am your worship associate today, and I will be doing the story of all ages. And I do ask all of you, we have experts in the room already, to bring out your inner child. Just kind of work on it, flow with me. Let's have a little fun. So this service is all about covenantal life, and I figured what better way to talk about covenant than Simon Says. And because I'm up here and you're down there, that means I get to be Simon. So let's begin. Simon says, smile at someone. Simon says, put your hand on your head. Simon says, give a thumbs up. Simon says, pretend to plant a seed. Give your neighbor a high five. Smile at someone next to you. Well, see how easy it is to jump in when something just feels right? But really, in covenantal life, we still need to pause and listen and make sure we're honoring the promises that we've made to each other. And y'all promised when you started playing with me that we'd play by my rules, right? Sim says, put your hand on your head. Simone says, tap your toes. Oh, I think we misheard maybe just a little bit and misunderstood each other. So the only way to stay in sync with each other is to slow down, check in, and clarify before we act, because that definitely wasn't Simon that said. Simon says, clap your hands. Keep clapping. Oh, I got you again. So we might assume what comes next, but if we stop paying attention, we might move ahead without making sure everybody is with us. And to be fair, I did see some of you were not tricked by me. I'm watching. So Simon says, share hello with your neighbor. Simon shares, high five your neighbor. Oh, I got you again. At least some of you. Some of you are catching on, I think. So covenants can definitely change over time. And if we do not communicate clearly, some people might not know what the new expectations are. I don't know about you. I try to be a mind reader, but it doesn't work out very often. So now as we wrap up this fun little game, I want you to tell everyone next to you that you are important and thank you for playing with me. Hey, I still got some people though. So just a kind reminder that even when our intentions are kind, we can step outside of our agreements. And part of covenantal life is actually remembering that impact matters regardless what intention is. So now, Simon says, let's sing the children out. Told you I did that. So last week, my grandmother died. And when death comes close, it changes the way that you see everything. But we are yet finite beings, breathing for just a short while in a universe, in a cosmos, without measure. In all the centuries before us, all the centuries to come, our lives are but just small moments, a brief flicker in the darkness. But in that flicker lives the wonder of being here at all. In that small, brief span, we get the chance to love, to create, to make meaning. My grandmother's life was not without hardship. None of ours is. But she left behind something more than just a collection of years. She left behind traces and pieces of her own being. She left behind her own stories and the stories that she helped create. She left behind the way that she loved people and the way that people loved her. And isn't that what we all want? To have our lives mean something more than just the days that we have counted. How beautiful it is to hold within us the echoes of every single life that has crossed our path. I am a dying person. I don't say that to be morbid. I say it because it is the one truth that makes every single moment matter. And the only thing that we all have in common. It's the one truth that makes the way that we live, the ways that we love, the most important work we will ever do. What we leave behind isn't staged or a highlight reel of our best moments. It is the way in which we speak to one another, the ways we stayed at the table when the conversations got really, really hard. It's the way we reached out even if we didn't have much left to give. It is the light that we carry into someone else's darkness. When I think of my own life, I know that my light is not mine alone. It is made from everyone who has came before and everyone who has walked beside me. From my grandmother, from friends who held my hand when I couldn't stand on my own, from strangers who showed kindness even when they did not have to. And I know that my light will leave traces in others as well. In my children, in my loved ones, in any soul that interacts with mine. That's the quiet work of a lifetime, regardless of how long. No one else will carry your exact light, and when you're gone, that's what will remain. So here now, let us tend to that light together. We bring into this room our grief, our gratitude, our questions, our hope. We hold it together so that when we walk back into the world, it burns brighter than when we came in here. Come, beloved community, and build each moment entangled in each other's glow.
We're about to begin a ritual that we call Touchstones. We take these little pieces of plastic and imbue in them our griefs, our gratitude, our questions, our hopes, and send them into the columns of water, either to get them off of our mind or to help them as they expand into the universe. We invite you to come forward in the 3 center aisles. There will be 3 of us handing these out. You can take them to either side to drop in the columns of water and then return to your seats. Let the ritual begin.
LB will release a couple Touchstones for those who couldn't make it here today, and maybe those that have a little bit more to kind of let go and bring into the ether. And then I'm back again. So now it's the Pastoral Prayer. This is the first time I think I've ever done something like this, so I was a little excited and a little intimidated. But I feel like anytime we do a meditation or a prayer, we should just do what feels comfortable for you. If you want to close your eyes, sit on the floor, stand, just be where you are in this moment, feel free to do whatever is comfortable. Spirit of life, Spirit of love, we come together holding our own small lights. Some burning steady, some flickering, some feeling nearly out. In this space, we remember that we do not carry them alone. Our lights are shaped by those who came before, by the promises we've made to one another, by the kindness we received when we need it the most. We give thanks for the beauty of our covenant, for the invitation to keep showing up, to listen, to care, to speak with honesty and love. In this moment, may we breathe deeply. May we feel the gift of being alive, even with the grief that we carry, even when the questions that we have do not have answers. May we tend our light here, nurturing it with compassion for ourselves and courage for the work ahead. And when we leave this place, may we carry it into the world that so desperately needs it, a world that needs us. May it be so. Blessed be, and amen.
Remaining in an attitude of meditation and prayer, let's join together in singing All Shall Be Well.
Good morning. My name is Joanne Cameron, and I'm here this morning representing the special plate collection. The special plate for August is for the Southside Community Kitchen, which meets in our very own building, cooking in our kitchen and serving meals in our social hall. Here to tell us more about the Southside Community Kitchen is a member of our very own congregation. Corey Kitty Hassinger, whose reputation precedes her for the well-balanced, nourishing meals she produces consistently for the hungry adults and children in the Lansing area, including several hungry refugees each week who are in the building already for English language classes. Welcome, Corey.
Good morning. My name is Corey Marie Kitley Hassinger, and I use the pronouns she and her. For almost 4 years now, I've been the lead cook at Southside Community Kitchen. 4 days a week, with the help of volunteers, I prepare delicious and nutritious meals for folks in need right here in our community. So I think a lot about soup. Sometimes it's, what does this need? Is it more salt? Sometimes it's wondering if the bay leaf does anything. I'm still not sure. Sometimes it's, how can I make this vegetarian chowder taste more like bacon? But you can't. You just can't. Usually, though, it's, is this going to be enough? I also think about what soup means, about what it means to serve someone a hot meal when the world feels cold or confusing or just plain indifferent or chaotic, like it's felt for most of us for quite some time now. Southside Community Kitchen has been feeding people in Lansing since 1987, almost 4 decades. We serve lunch 4 days a week, no questions asked. There's no sign up, no sermon, no paperwork, just a seat at a table and a meal. Friendly service and community and coffee. Gotta have coffee. We work closely with the Refugee Development Center, and that has changed how we cook and how we think about serving our community. We offer vegetarian and halal meals, not just because we can, but because we want everyone to feel welcomed at the table. Everyone. No matter their story, no matter their faith, no matter how long they've been in Lansing or even in the country. We serve all kinds of folks, older adults on fixed incomes, families with young kids, people who are just caught in between houses, in between jobs. Some of our guests come once in a while, some come all the time. Some of them tell us their stories, and some just eat quietly and leave. All are welcome. And this is the part that keeps me going. I don't leave my shifts feeling hopeless. I leave feeling connected. Tired, yes. My coworkers and I have realized we all go home and nap every Monday. But I go home completely exhausted, often covered in soup because I forgot to put my apron on, but I go home grounded, recalibrated, reminded that not everything is broken, that people are still showing up for each other. And I think that's what's keeping me going. I think it's really powerful, the congregation's power. I think that's what's so powerful about the partnership with the Southside Community Kitchen. You're all showing up with us. You're all helping us hold that door open. You're saying we believe in a world where people are fed, not just with food, but with kindness. So thank you, truly, for being part of that work. We appreciate your donations this month and your partnership throughout the year. And if this resonates with you, if you've been looking for something to do, something real, something grounded, something that reminds you what community can be, we'd love to have you come volunteer with us. No professional kitchen experience is required, just a willingness to chop vegetables, serve with kindness, maybe wash a few dishes alongside people who believe, like you, that small acts can still shape our community, and maybe, in a small way, the world. After service today, I'll be sitting at a table for a little while in the social hall. Feel free to come chat with me if you have any questions about what we do or if you'd like to volunteer. Be happy to take down your number and we'll get you scheduled soon. And also, if you'd like to join us for lunch and engage with community members, we're here Mondays and Wednesdays at 11:30. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we serve at Galilee Baptist on Rio Road near Pleasant View School. Thank you.
Part of our covenant, I think, largely comes in with generosity and relationships. And so if you would like to give to the special plate this month, well, our ushers will come around with a basket. There's little envelopes in front of you or behind you if you're in the front row, in the chairs, or there's a QR code. I'm magic, did you see that? There's a QR code. There's a QR code if you want to use your phone to give. And any undesignated gifts do go to the Southside Community Kitchen. Thank you.
My name is Sonya Schryer Norris, and my pronouns are she and her. I'm happy to start us off with this first message since Rev Neil has gone on sabbatical. And first, I want to say a special hi to the people watching from home or watching the recording. For most general purposes, I am homebound. I go out usually one day a week, maybe two. And so my regular church attendance is via YouTube. So that's where you're going to see me on Sunday mornings. And I wave back at everyone in the sanctuary, and I mentally drop my Touchstones in when those for those of us at home are dropped. And a special thank you to the media team who streams us every week, because without them, I would not be able to attend services. And, something exciting. Before I get into it, I want to take a moment on another topic that is generally welcome at UU services, books. Okay, so my career job is as a librarian, and I worked for the state library in professional development for Michigan's 3,500 library workers, and I helped small and rural libraries with technology projects for about 22 years. I'm currently an independent library consultant. I have seen requests circulating in the congregation to make calls and sign petitions in support of maintaining federal funding for libraries. I want to thank everyone who took action for libraries or thought good thoughts about taking action for libraries. Both Gary Peters and Alyssa Slotkin, Michigan's 2 Democratic senators, have signed on to support the Institute of Museum and Library Services, which was defunded earlier this year. I have been doing a lot of advocacy work since January, and after contacting Alyssa Slotkin's office, not an exaggeration, about 36 times, they assigned me a point person. So I now advise her humanities aid on federal issues regarding libraries. So thank you very much for your advocacy. It paid off. A call you made, a petition you signed, an email you sent, these things do actually have impact, so thank you. So my message today is about a particular strength in our beloved community, the strength of hospitality. Our covenant reads, as we build beloved community here and in the wider world, I will help cultivate a welcoming environment in this sacred space. I will listen and speak with empathy and honesty in times of agreement and disagreement. I will strive to understand other viewpoints. I promise to respect and nurture myself and others as we each pursue our life paths and spiritual journeys. There are several parts of our covenant that speak to hospitality, and many religions, including Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, and Buddhism, all place a high value on hospitality and welcoming guests as a virtue. This practice is often seen as a reflection of divine love as well as a way to build community. In some contexts, hospitality is viewed as a form of social justice, extending care and compassion to those who may be marginalized or vulnerable, as we just heard from the Southside Community Kitchen. I have seen two really strong examples of our hospitality ethos in action recently. The first time was about a month ago when I brought a visitor to UU Lansing, my cousin Marnie. And the second time was in the cultural exchange with the Islamic Center. So every year I host a Fabulous Cousins weekend. It is the spring event in the family. This year it was in the summer, but Marnie came and we somehow got to talking about church. I think she actually brought up the topic, which, you know me, I'm always bringing up church, so if she got there first, that's a big thing. And she wanted to come to church with me on Sunday. And when I speak here, I sometimes send her the link out of YouTube with like the little time thing to say when I'm speaking so she doesn't have to listen to the whole thing. She listens to the whole thing. She actually likes our services, and she comes and watches us on YouTube. So we have an out-of-state lurker. Just wanted to let you know. And everybody at home, when you're checking out how many people are watching with you, one of them may be a woman in Cleveland. So I saw UU Lansing with fresh eyes when I walked in with her. I saw our beautiful atrium and the friendly welcome table and the people buzzing around as they greeted her and other new guests. It was full of light and life, and it looked cheerful. Volunteers were getting coffee ready. Everything was going right according to plan. People were chatting and laughing. The environment was friendly and welcoming. It set a lovely tone for genuine hospitality. We looked happy to be at church and ready for guests. When it came time to greet one another, I saw that Amy Gessert was nearby. And I walked Marnie over to introduce her and say that Amy had spoken at the Welcome to UU Lansing forum that I took back in 2016. And she was explaining that she's a pagan, and I was like, well, if they can accept pagans, I can definitely fit in here. This is gonna be fine. I'm not gonna overwhelm these people. This is good. And plus I heard there were witches here, so I couldn't get here fast enough. So I was able to introduce Marnie to Amy, and after the service, I asked Marnie, so what'd you think? What were your impressions of UU Lansing? She said it was like church, but not scary. She has been to some rough churches in her time. She enjoyed the ritual of Touchstones and described it as one way to put a good thought out there. She also said that Touchstones was a better experience than kneeling and getting a cracker, in her opinion. She said the service was accessible. It was easy to understand. It was easy to follow. She always knew what was going on. She liked Rev Neal's sermon that day. She liked the choir, and she liked us. So way to go in showing hospitality. And then shortly after her visit was the cultural exchange with the Islamic Center. About a dozen UU congregants went to the Islamic Center after Asr prayers on a Friday, and that's like the dinner time prayer. So they're praying, they're finishing up, some people downstairs are getting food ready, and we arrive. So in case you haven't been in the school portion of the Islamic Center, their cafeteria is in the basement, an elevator ride down. They have an arty cafeteria, not like children's art put on things, but like enormous arches in the walls. They have that's like the nicest school cafeteria I have ever seen. And it was the men of the congregation who took the food from Aladdin's, made sure everything was set out, made sure there was silverware and napkins. A team of men did all of that. So who was there? So there were converts. There were women who covered their whole faces. There were immigrants, fewer than I thought there'd be. There were students. There were people who had come here as students and then decided to stay on, make a life in the United States with their families. The man that I was sitting at, okay, wait for this, he chose Michigan for the weather. He's from Pakistan, and he got accepted to U of M, we can say it. He got accepted to U of M and a school in Florida. So he went home to his wife, and he's like, okay, what do you think? One's hot, one's cold. She goes, we're going for the cold. So, and they've been here for decades, and I think she's just a cold weather person because she is right happy to be here still. And he works as a scientist for the state. Imam Sohail and Rev Neil spoke to us about authority in religion. Rev Neil told the group that he is a humanist and not a theist. And the Muslims were respectfully intrigued about how you could have a religion without believing in God and without an authority like the Quran or the Prophet Muhammad. And Rev Neil talked about the authority of the congregation in UU Lansing life. Planning for the Islamic Center's visit back to UU Lansing was well underway. Food is a really important part of hospitality, as we all know, and so is the effort that goes into a successful meal. A team on an email thread was created from those who attended the dinner that we were hosted for. There were many long-term members in the volunteer group, and they brought energy, excitement, and a work ethic that was really amazing. That email thread was orderly, efficient, and productive. We had deadlines up front, everybody pitched in, people said what they were gonna do. A halal buffet was promptly planned, one that would be religiously acceptable to our Muslim guests. Members on the thread shared their research on halal food preparation. Special attention was paid to making sure we had halal meat, so it wouldn't be only a vegetarian meal. Salads and fruit and dessert were arranged. When it looked like we might not have enough food, 2 or 3 of the people on the list were like, I'll make double batches. The group decided to use our real dishes to help make the meal a warmer experience. A woman on the email thread volunteered to wash the dishes and said, oh, I don't know how to run the dishwasher, so can somebody show me how to run the dishwasher? And somebody else said, I'm not really sure how to use the oven, I think we're gonna need it. And then another volunteer on the thread popped up, like, I got the dishwasher and the oven, I'll be there, I'll show you. So volunteers just popped up to do all of the work, the fun parts and the hard parts. And this group brought decades of combined experience in Unitarian Universalist hospitality. The meal went really well if you weren't there. Our Muslim guests were delighted to hear that we'd paid special attention to having halal food. And they weren't so much concerned that maybe we'd gotten it wrong, they were just delighted that we'd tried. And that act of hospitality, of showing respect for what they could and couldn't eat, was just very warmly received. And I was at the same table with Bob Lovell and others, and when our guests asked questions about Unitarian Universalism, like, what are you guys about, where'd you come from? Bob had the warmest, clearest, most accurate history, all queued up. He didn't bog them down in details, and he hit all the high points, one after another, that were necessary for a round explanation of Unitarian Universalism. He was thanked by our guests with friendly appreciation, because after that, they knew what Unitarian Universalism was and what building they were sitting in. I want to speak for a minute about the dishwashing crew in particular. And I want to bring in a related practice of a Mennonite retreat center near Three Rivers called the Hermitage. So one of their spiritual advisors is also a photographer. He's also a really good friend of mine. And one day he posted a picture of the sink in their communal kitchen, just an ordinary sink beside a, gold 1970s dishwasher with a rug in front of it. And he captioned it, "My prayer rug." Their daily invitation to begin a meal is with the blessing that food is God's love made manifest. And for him, washing dishes was an act of service and of love. Washing the dishes was an act of service and love and hospitality for our guests as well. Thank you to the cooks and the hosts and those that set up and cleaned up, and also to the dishwashers in particular, because sometimes I feel like the dishwashers get a little bit forgotten, and they did a really good job. I only attended a few services in our last building, but I worked with Evie Jackson and others during the 2003 opposition to the Second Iraq War. That was held mainly at the Peace Education Center in the basement. If you're not familiar with the old building, there was this really large space that we could use. And this congregation fed me then. We were volunteers, we were coming to do the anti-war movement, and meals were just kind of magically planned. Evie was doing some of that. And I was going to school full-time, I was working full-time, I was married, I had a place to keep up, and it was really great when I would come to do anti-war work. And this church had just arranged to feed us, and I didn't have to do anything at all. So I got to know some of you then, and the gist of Unitarian Universalism. But I didn't pay attention to the community as a whole until I started attending services in this building in 2016. And I recognize some of you over that 13-year break. And even all those years later, the elders of this church have been a steady and stabilizing presence over decades and over lifetimes. I didn't show up here as a member until 2021, and I would like to thank this living community for maintaining the congregation through times of agreement and times of disagreement. Even when I feel like I'm struggling here, I feel like there are other people on the same struggle bus with me, and we're bringing our best selves to continue in beloved community, even when it is hard on us. Finally, I'd like to thank the sabbatical team for the work they've done and have upcoming, as I promise to respect and nurture myself and others as we each pursue our life paths and spiritual journeys during the next 6 months. And also, to the anonymous donor that gave what was needed to fix the roof, thank you. I have no idea who you are, but thanks for fixing the roof. Thank you.
Sonya and Kelsea have both spoken very eloquently and concisely about the relationship between covenant and community. And let's just reinforce that by singing one of our very strong community songs, We Laugh, We Cry, number 354 in the Gray Hymnal.
Now, if you'll join me saying our benediction. As a religious community, inspired by awe and wonder, we nurture spiritual growth, connect in authentic, loving relationships, and engage in courageous work for peace and justice. Our worship has ended. Let our service begin.